Breve, you can meet the control point early and take longer break. Here you cannot accumulate time. I cannot say, oh, the 100 miles in 24 hours. Okay, let me finish the 100 mile in, let's say, 20 hours and take the next 4 hours break. No. This throws in a challenge of how you will manage the sleep. Breve, you can sleep easily 2 hours, 3 hours, even 4 hours if you do reasonably well, right? Every day you get that. You won't get that in the Backyard Ultra. The importance of the assist is just because you can run how many ever hours, this rule doesn't allow you to do that.
Only if someone else also is there, you can continue running.
Right. So it doesn't matter how many strong runners or weak runners are there in the field, but the last two, they are the ones that matter. So assist is given a lot of importance.
I am Venki, a working professional in IT as well as an amateur masters athlete and a coach for endurance sports. You are listening to the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, I have a small request from you. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. You can also let me know what you like and what you would like to listen to more of by commenting in the comment section on YouTube. I promise to do my best to improve with each episode and bring you the best content that helps you and me get better each day. This episode is brought to you by The Bike Affair. If you are in search of a one-stop destination that caters to all your cycling needs, our today's sponsor, The Bike Affair, is the perfect place to check out. I have known the founders of The Bike Affair, Krish and Gokul, personally for nearly 15 years now. In fact, my first century ride was with Krish back in 2008. They are both exceptional human beings and entrepreneurs that believe in providing exceptional service to their customers. And it shows. With over 14 years of experience, the Bike Affair has established itself as a trusted source offering honest advice and exceptional service. They are offering a special treat for the listeners of this podcast. You can enjoy a 10% discount on your first order by using the code BikeyVenki on their website. So if you are in Hyderabad, visit their store in Coimbatore, or if you are anywhere else in India, shop online by using the link thebikeaffair.com. I will leave the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy the podcast.
Opendro.
Hi, Lord.
Welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for hosting me here.
It's such a pleasure to have you. How many years it's been? We haven't seen each other for a while now.
Yeah. So maybe last time we met 2016-17 probably.
Wow.
Yeah, it has been long years.
But we have known each other for a long time.
Yes.
So
even without meeting, we have been meeting in a way virtually.
Yeah, we have been meeting virtually.
Yeah.
We have been in touch, thanks to social media. When was we have known each other from the time of Cleated Warriors, isn't it?
Yes.
2011.
I can tell you exactly. I think before Cleated Warriors also, the inaugural launch of those Brevets. I think you started around that, right? So must be early 2011. Yeah.
So early 2011, I mean late December 2010 was when I came to Bangalore.
Correct.
And I used to go show up at any and every cycling event. I used to ride to the start point just to get to know the community, right? February 2011 I went, actually December 2010 itself, I gate crashed TFN cool off party and 2011.
But you didn't ride that year?
No, that year I didn't know. I wanted to be part of it, but I just moved to Bangalore at that point of time from Hyderabad, and then very next week I got to know that okay, there is this TFN cool off party happening. So I just took an auto and went and met all these people and listened to their stories.
Wow.
And that more solidified that I need to go and ride this. That's
Yeah.
how my TFN 2011 happened.
There was a time, I mean, hardly any cycling community existed.
Right.
People who were cycled, but nothing really existed that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and for one of the first events that in Bangalore that I went and watched was in Sarjapur Road, that TT road.
Yes.
No, sorry, in February.
It must be about 7 kilometers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Some February 2011, I think. I rode to the place.
Same thing for me. Yes.
And Dalam and Venkatachalam.
Correct.
And
Craig was
Navin
there.
Raj, Craig,
yeah.
All these people were there racing, and I was like, Star Ride, I was like watching. Samim Rijvi was there with a trainer warming up and all that. What is this? What is happening? Someone was stationary and riding. I was like, it was all new. It was quite fun to
But the thing is, we didn't know the gravity of the race, so ignorance was a bliss in a way. We were kind of admiring, but it didn't bear any weight on us because I came with a hybrid cycle. It was a Merida Cross with 10V, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, we've known each other kind of from that time, I guess. And before
one more race, remember? I think the Visvesvaraya, the technological near the Mekri Circle, where Dipankar Paul crashed.
So I
think that was maybe a month before.
I wasn't there for that race.
Okay.
But I heard a lot from Dipankar also.
Yeah, I was there as well. Yeah.
So yeah, and before we go into more of this, nostalgia, I want to take you back a little bit more and talk about what was your relationship with sport growing up.
Okay, so my growing up, actually, I didn't have any sports.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's partly because of my I would say economic status. Family was a little bit poor and couldn't afford anything related to sports. But as a villager, we would play and all that outdoor. Frequently, I played a little bit of those hockey sticks made from bamboo, cut into half. That the bend with the root. At the root level, so half of that kind of a thing.
Hockey.
Hockey. I met.
When was this?
This was my early school days, maybe around 5th, 6th grade.
And which
I mean, it never meant to be like a sport. It was just like kids going out and playing something.
Which place?
It is in my village called Thoudam. It's in Manipur. About 20 kilometers from the Imphal capital city.
Right.
Yeah, I took a shot at football. It was kind of informal coaching. We had a sort of coach who at least knows the sport about. But that was in my 9th grade, and it was the wrong time to start because I was a little serious about studies. 3 months, and I realized that I wouldn't be able to balance both study and football. So I had to leave it there. Other than that, I would say a lot of my what you see, little bit of what I do about the sports. That the thing about I like. What I meant is my ability to cycle or run. I think it came partly from my little bit of a farming background where a lot of manual labor, intensive labor is involved. And secondly, I used to cycle to school 9 kilometer one way, so the 18 kilometer
Right.
every day, Monday to Saturday. And I think that really built my
It built a base for you.
yeah, correct. So I think that is what I'm reaping the benefit today. That's what I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, that is all about the sports. College also, I didn't really do anything.
But once you started working and all that, right? I guess that's where again how did cycling come into the picture? Through cycling is what I knew back in the day. So how did you get into cycling?
Okay, so college I was in the hostel, no cycling, and then I came to Bangalore in '99, and then after about a year I bought a motorcycle second hand. Still nothing about sports in mind. Of course, I used to play table tennis a bit in the office. We had a table tennis. So other than that, nothing. And okay, little bit of story is there how I started running and cycling. So in my workplace, I had couple of colleagues who are kind of a little more exposed to running at the time, and I would say a little bit of cycling as well. So one of the manager was a US returned, and he had been participating in running events. Of course, we didn't have anything in Bangalore back then, so he had participated elsewhere. So in one of the talks, like a casual talks on the lunch table, this running came up, and I was listening. So he was mainly talking to another colleague, and the topic came up. So I was listening, and then roughly it was in my mind it was running. Okay, so how much distance they are running, how much time they are taking. So just random number, okay, so I don't really recollect, but I just give a kind of a sly remark saying that seems a little slow. Okay, so now this is from a person who has never run or except that cycling. Okay, but I had my own estimate of okay how much it would take. I mean, sometimes I walked school to home also.
Right.
And on the days I had taken bus on the way and didn't get the bus back, right? So I was calculating roughly in my mind, and I had, even today I do this a lot, okay? So kind of a theoretical imagination. So I just said that seems slow, okay? So the guy who runs
took offense.
He was taken a little aback and said, how much do you think you will take to run a kilometer? I said that shouldn't take more than 4 minutes for me. Okay, so he said fine, let's take a challenge. So the nearest point was Inner Ring Road, and that time, those days, Inner Ring Road. This is about 2004 or 5. Okay. So those days, right?
It's all empty.
It's all empty. So let's do that tomorrow morning. That's how we said. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. So now imagine I haven't done any physical activity from the time I stopped cycling at 10th. Then 11, 12, I was sedentary, and 4 years of engineering, and then 2.5 years in the previous company before I joined that company. So you add up roughly a solid close to 10 years I haven't done anything. Yeah. So I took the challenge, but I got a little bit self-doubt and nervousness. So, and then that day evening and the morning, I did a lot of skips just to see how I am feeling. And probably that had done the damage actually, because
You would have gotten tired.
Yeah, because at the first leg, even untrained would have been better for like 4 minutes. I could have probably. So then I drank a lot of water, and then I went by scooter to the inner ring road. Then okay, how are we going to measure? So the colleague came in the car. He said, "I'll set my trip meter, and I'll drive ahead of you, and when it is 1 kilometer, I'll stop." I said, "Fine, okay." So I ran behind him, and I really ran fast in the beginning. And then by around half a kilometer mark, I was like literally out. Okay. Somehow I managed in 4 minutes, but at the end of it, I had drank a lot of water before running. Also, I threw that water off, all clean water. It was pretty bad. Okay, so that was a kind of a wake up call.
So that 4 minutes, you managed 4 minutes.
I managed 4 minutes, but I knew what my body condition was. I was, I was surprised, not because it was hard to run the 4 kilometer. I was surprised because I was doing so bad for 1 kilometer. So I would say that way. So
struggled so much.
Yeah. So then I kind of I bought a cycle after that, just for commuting around, taking for a ride around. And of course, the cycle, you wouldn't believe, it was one of those BSA with the rear suspension in the center, one big spring.
Oh, right.
And you can't even lift those kind of cycles.
Full suspension.
Full suspension. Okay, so
with any suspension hardly working.
Yeah, and it adds a lot of weight and it doesn't roll.
Yeah.
Then I had to sell it later, but before that, okay, so I had another colleague who is a little more exposed to a cycling neighbor. Okay, so his name is Chirag. So he had bought an aluminum frame cycle that time itself, around 2006 or so, 5 or 6. I forgot the brand name. It was one of the early aluminum frame cycle in India. Then his neighbor was selling used Trek. Trek, was it?
Trek 3700 and 4300 used to be
4300, yes.
Yeah.
So 4300.
Those were the only things that were
Yeah,
coming
correct.
at that
It
time.
was 4300. It was it had a nice front shocks, and it was a passionate rider. So I bought it, and then I disposed the old one. Then I think with that I started riding actually. So the first ride, I think, with the cycle, the longest one, I mean, other than riding with a friend in the weekend for 30-40 kilometers, other than that, I did a few rides with this at that time. The Nandi ride, was it Harsha, right? What was his name? Like there was a massive Nandi ride, Yogesh and
Right.
I
I
think
heard
probably
about
you
it.
were not there that
I was
time.
not there at that time, but I heard about that. That Yogesh and a few others organized.
Correct.
It.
Chidambaram was there,
Correct.
Yogesh was there, and then Vicky was also there actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So we rode Nandi up, and coming back. That was my first century. Coming back
must have been 2010.
Yeah. So the coming back, I couldn't reach home. In Hebal, I took an auto, and I was so tired. I even forgot my first helmet there in the auto, and I think that was how I started cycling.
Right. Yeah.
And then the same cycle, I used it for riding to Mysore and back in one day.
Wow.
So that one, nobody was sure whether it was feasible in the first place.
Right.
Okay, 300 kilometer back and forth in one day, because that was something nobody in the city had done, kind of. So if you search in the BBC Google group thread, there is a massive discussion and the planning. Okay, so and I did that.
Right.
After that, I think I got a lot of confidence that okay, this is something I can do. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's roughly.
Was it BOB? Was it called BOB Bangalore?
No.
That was Bangalore Ooty Bangalore kind of thing.
Yeah.
Some 600-kilometer ride was
Yeah.
also there.
I think those are a little more organized one. This
Correct.
one is like again the same set of people, the Yogesh and Chidambaram. So this and myself. So we were just informally we were riding. Yeah.
Right. Nice. So that's how you got started in cycling.
Yes.
Right.
But still, the racing was never in my mind. If I have to tell you about that as well. How I got into the racing was, okay, so now we got into BBC. Okay, I have never heard of the BBCh. And in the BBC, there was this inaugural launch 200 ride, Sierra, I don't remember what it is, but Devonhalli side, out, was it 200 or 100? I think it was 100, maybe 100. Okay, so, and back. And then there was, they said they would provide participation or completion, whatever certificate. Okay, so that certificate, they said they would distribute in this place, that institute, what I'm talking about, where Dipankar Paul crashed. Okay, so near the Mercury Circle. I think it's a Viseswaraya.
Correct. Viseswaraya Institute of Technology, something
yes,
like that.
Yes.
Research,
before the IAC
research place.
Yeah, correct. So it was a nice place. They said they would distribute there, and they said there is a race happening there. And I didn't even know it was BBCh. So again, I went with the Merida. Okay, I had bought Merida, just brand new that time.
Road bike or
no, it's a hybrid crossway. Yeah, with the front front suspension again. Yeah. Not a MTV kind suspension.
Correct.
From the Navin Raj only I bought from Venki.
Wheel Sports.
Yeah, Wheel Sports. So I went there. I said, okay, I'll race, and it's a lot of turns. It's criterium, and I would show hands for the turn and all that. People were screaming, "Don't leave the hand from the handlebar." Okay, so I never knew it was a serious thing, and every lap I would get this scolding from the volunteers. And then after about, I think, little after midway, that's it, boom, somebody had crashed and the race was aborted.
Right.
Okay, so that is how I came to know about the BBCh.
Somebody who crashed was Dipankar Paul, I guess.
Yes, he was the one. He was taken to a nearby hospital. I think pretty bad injury. I heard about the BBCh. Still, I wasn't planning to go back. Then the 2011, the Brevets series started. So I did the 200. Then the 200 was, I think, if I remember correctly, it was probably January, or then 300, maybe February. It was consecutive. Okay, if it 200 was Feb, then it will be 300 would be March.
Right.
I think maybe to Feb start. I think 300 was to Mysore. Again, I did that. Then 400 was to Vellore. Okay, Vellore and back.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the first time I thought I'll try the road bike. So I rented out a road bike. I like it. And when I returned, there was a clearance sale from massive discount from Decathlon. Decathlon had just come about a year that time.
In Sarjapur.
Yes, Sarjapur. That was the only one.
That was the only one.
Yeah. So between Oh, how can I forget my only road bike?
Yeah,
Sport one.
between sport one.
Yes, between sport.
The red and white.
Yes, yes. Size, I
It-
didn't
it-
even get smaller than 54.
Yeah.
So I bought 54. That was the smallest. They have 54, 57, I think too. And it was all for 15,000.
Wow.
Okay, all for 15,000. I mean,
And I would think, not skipping too much ahead, but that between would have seen easily more than 150,000 kilometers.
maybe not 150,000, but at least 1 lakh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Best bang for the buck of ever, I think.
Yeah.
15,000 kilometers.
I did upgrade wheel set later.
Right.
That was another investment of I think 14K.
Right.
But I still had the original rim. Actually, it had a bad porthole. And it gave a dip, which could not be fixed.
Right.
It could not be through.
Right.
So that I bought. Again, that was not for racing, just because I love the road bike in the 400, the rented one, and 15,000 was kind of attractive price, so I bought. So I did the 600 with that, and the 1,000 is the summer solstice. The Lamb and all this, they organized the first year of this thing to Belgaum and back.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it turned out a disaster for me, because in the first 100 kilometer I got 3 punctures.
Ooh.
And then the chain link fell off. I didn't even know what chain link that time. Okay, so I thought the chain got cut. And then I think at that time Anita Bora was the one one of the volunteers said it must be chain link fallen off. You can go back and search. It was dark, so with the flashlight only. But it's a tiny thing, right? How far I have gone, so
Right.
I could never find it. So I had to quit because the rule doesn't allow anybody to come and help. Also, unless I reach a control point and somebody can come to the control point with a link. So it was abandoned. Then the Lamb, I think, saw had been kind of following my rides, I guess. So after that, he said, okay, you didn't get to ride the 1,000 Breve, but we can do our own 1,000. Okay.
The Lamb is this Venkatachalam
Yeah.
Ramakrishnan. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and Kiran, the
Tusker.
Kiran, they brought their cycle rack and the Lamb's Maruti 800. The idea was we ride, 2 people ride, and one will take the car. If at all, if we have to abort at any situation, we just hop into the car. Okay, so the plan was, okay, next 3 days, 4 days, whatever it takes. So we rode to Mysore and then climbed the Chamandi and then went to Cork. And then funny thing was, it was raining in July. Okay, so the failure,
Monsoons.
Monsoon. The summer solstice was aborted 1,000 kilometer, and then July 1st week is what we attempted. It didn't materialize. It was heavy rain, but we enjoyed the ride. Finally, from the Madikeri, we had to return. Okay, in the car itself. But that is when he roped me into the Cleated Warriors team.
Right.
Okay. So if you remember, the following month was the team time trial. Some bittersweet memory about that, your team and my team, I guess.
Correct. September
Sivas Road. I think August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that is how I got inducted into the...
Which year is this?
This is 2011, all of this.
2011, right?
August, yeah.
August. This particular race happened on Shivas Road. Budigere was the starting point. Budgere, that school
Yes.
was the starting
Road
point.
was empty.
Road was completely empty, not the two-way side that we see now. One side, and it's like and to the end of that Shiva's road and
Take a
back,
U-turn. Yeah.
U-turn and back.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I came to like I was doing throughout that year. I came riding on my fixie to watch the race. Okay, so and I was like fascinated. These guys, the specialized specialized team was not there. Rupak Suri came in from
It was
Hyderabad.
Kinkini.
Kinkini.
Specialized team was Kinkini that time.
Yeah, wheel sports, Kinkini wheel sports team.
Yeah.
Right, that black and yellow.
Number 69, he was the lead, and Venki and
Vivek Radhakrishnan was the lead, and Venki was one of the sponsors for the team.
Yeah.
So that team was there, and you guys were there, and I was like, wow, pretty exciting to watch.
We were never considered the candidate who could come to any serious competition.
Right.
But your team, I don't know whether you were already part of the team at that time.
At that point of
Spectrum.
time, I was not part of the team.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling.
Yeah.
So I think Arvind, maybe even Shankar was part of the team or something like that. But
the guy in Italy,
Rajesh?
yes.
Rajesh was
So
there.
he was the main, I think, starter of Spectrum, if I remember that time.
These guys were like, Murthy, Arvind, and Mohan. All these guys were the instigators of the team.
Yeah. And this team was the main competitor. If at all any team could give a fight, this was the only team that could give a fight to Kinkini.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So because at that point of time, I think Gaurav was there. Gaurav Dwivedi. We used to call him Rocket. Mohan was pretty fast. All these guys were like, no, I mean, by that time I didn't know any of those guys.
Okay.
So I just came to watch. Okay. I was watching the TTT, and then they said, Rohan and others were there organizing. They said, if whoever doesn't have a team can ride individual time trial. So a few of us were like, okay, let's go ride. So I ended up doing that in that race. That was my very first race, which I didn't even plan for.
Oh, okay.
And funnily enough, I came back and Brijesh Nair called me saying, hey, I have your medal with me. I said, what medal? Because I rode and came back and I was tired. I went home. Right? So apparently I won the ITT category in that race.
Oh, wow.
On my fixed gear bike.
Okay.
I think some 30 kmph or 33 kmph, whatever I did. I was like, oh. Yeah. So that was a memorable experience.
Correct,
so that was the race you were talking about.
Yeah. So that race, why I call bittersweet, I don't know whether you remember anything of it.
No, I don't.
So the Spectrum was supposed to be the only team that could give a fight to Kinkini. So they were the obvious second. If at all they can't beat. If at all they can't beat Kinkini. And then the Lam was just building up the team. He roped me in, and then there was this Ganapati Subramanian, who came with a long pant trouser in a 600 Brevet. With no food, nothing, no electrolyte or no. So he was about to quit after Krishnagiri, and I had Electral, something which I learned from the 300k Brevet from somebody. It's not like I knew about it. So I gave that, and he was unstoppable after that. So he was roped into the team. So, and he was very good in the finishing sprinting. So I just had to hang on in the end, the Ram and Ganapati
Ganapati.
sprinted and beat the Spectrum team by a few seconds, or at least not more than 20 seconds, I guess.
Right.
And everybody was a bit of shock, and the Lamb would really love to relive that moment every now and then in the
Yeah,
team, actually.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, he very competitive in a very fun way.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
the Ram and Venkatram was like very. In general, he's also a very funny guy.
oh
He's
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
my.
I mean, the only reason I ever went to any kind of a club racing is because of the Lamb.
Right.
He is very not only funny, he is very motivating
Amazing
person.
guy,
Yeah.
amazing
He knows
guy.
how to motivate people.
Right. And you know, obviously, you know, he was one of the key members when we started Bangalore Amateur Racing Bar.
Yeah,
2013.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So I mean, he and I were the two, you know, came together. Two teams kind of came together. Cleated Warriors and Spectrum, and he from Cleated Warrior and
Correct.
I from Spectrum came together and kind of started this. And
Yeah, because
you guys
BBCh was getting too hot that time. So
yeah, so
we
it was
needed
like,
another platform.
correct,
So
correct.
I
So it
remember
was like
how
we were complaining that there were not enough races because we were demanding too much of BBCh. But like MTB races, alternate MTB races and road races. Like we have to wait for 2 months for a road race, and you guys are making us wait for results for so long that this all sorts of complaints we used to do. And I said, I guess you know, at the same time, around that time, NJ came into the, you know, came into Bangalore.
Correct.
2012, right?
Yeah.
One of those rides to Brahm Nandi or something, he was mentioning how, you know, the concept of like handicap racing and time trialing, how it used to happen back in the US and all that. He was saying, hey, we could, you know, you could start something like that. Like,
yeah, I have watched this podcast.
Yeah. So that was the kind of start of the seed. But yeah, diverging anyway. So yeah, we were talking about the Lamb.
Yeah, so that is how I got into the racing. Of course, the Lamb had to leave India, and the team broke up. In between, there were other few strong riders like Deepak Masavade and Ashwin, then Ananta, then the Nishita, the Japanese guy.
Right.
So we had pretty good lineup when we had, but we all got dispersed, and
yeah, life takes its course, right?
Yeah.
You know, life took different people into different directions. That's how you know, it typically happens.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, even with Spectrum, right? Although we are still active, you know, we more than half of the team lives outside India. Or even
But you have
more
got
than
the
that.
core riders
we
dedicated to this.
Yeah, we're you know, 3, 4, 4, 5 people still riding and kind of, you know, hanging in there.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember you have gone ahead and did TransAm, right?
Yeah.
Which year was this?
It's 2016.
Wow. So TransAm, I remember you you had a very interesting experience there. You fell sick or something like that, and but still you finished.
Yeah.
And all I was like, let's talk about that experience. How did, first of all, how did that idea of TransAm come into the picture? I'm guessing that, you know, race across America has RAM has something to do with it, because at that point of time, Samim and a few others were attempting, I think. Yeah. So how did it come into the idea, and how did you end up getting there?
Okay, so There are a few things about me which some other cyclists may take offense at, but it's just my thing. So the thing is, I generally don't invest too much into this hobby thing, especially if there are cheaper options. So that was kind of my philosophy. Okay, so what it means is like 2014, like a PBP, the Brest Paris. From India, we had a good number of representation, but I always believe that even though those who want to experience that can go, we should have our own cheaper options here. I mean, when I say cheaper, means just the elimination of the logistics of travel,
of flying there,
taking
and,
the bike there, and accommodation. All that itself is they remove a lot of hurdles for people who want to take up similar challenges. So that is when we started the Bliss in the Hills.
Right.
Okay, so
2014 was the origin.
Yeah, so 2014, Chidambaram, he had planned this, so I joined with him to do the Reiki. And it was obviously similar to the PVP format with a good amount of climbs, different weather situations thrown into it, because PVP also like a hot and cold both would get into it, and it has additionally good humidity, because Iriti, that's a sea level in Kerala, and also rain is almost kind of
a given.
It's
so it's a 1200 kilometer
1240 kilometer,
right.
Okay, so that's I'm just giving you an example of how I like to take things. Okay, so again, that's what people who go and do things should not take offense.
No, but see, unless you have that thought, right? Something, the thought of, there is something there, PVP, okay, people are going and all that, but why don't we have something like that here? Unless that questioning is there, it wouldn't exist, right?
Yeah.
Now, Bliss in the Hills is an iconic ride that a lot of people across India look up to, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
there are pros and cons of every event, right? So PVP must have become famous. They would have started something like this. But to take it forward, it of course requires a dedication of a lot of people.
Yeah.
The very reason why Bliss in the Hills is not able to continue. I mean, of course, the COVID was the main reason it stopped. Second reason is the traffic situation and all that. Yeah. So
for whatever years it ran, it was one of the toughest, and with good participation, but completion rate was very.
Take it this way: it has a climb of about 50,000 feet. Wow. It includes Madikeri climb, and then after Virajpet downhill, Peria climb or a boys down, either of this, and then go to Kalpetta, and then go to Uti, and then it comes down to Avinasi, and then climbs up the Salem Yarkat, and then gets down on the other side, Kupanur, and then goes to Yellagiri. And
covering everything.
Yeah, and then get down from there. Then the finishing is the only highway, little boring part, Yellagiri till Bangalore. Right. So till Yellagiri is like a massive challenge.
Right.
Okay, so that is roughly about my take on this whole thing. But at the same time, I was a little bit of a bad guy in the community who is trying to do this armchair theory on, okay, is some event elsewhere, is it really challenging? Okay, if it is challenging, how challenging? I'm trying to, give a rating of my own. So one of the thing I was fascinated with was RAM. Okay, so because Samim was the star, and in his second attempt he finished, but he had a penalty because of which he was given a DNF.
Outside the cutoff.
Yeah, he finished within the cutoff, but he was given a time penalty, so he became a DNF. After that, he attempted third and probably fourth. I don't know how many times. This is one part. Another part was about the Ironman. So Ironman was heating up. So I am a little bit into running, but I have never run. No, I think by then I had run 25-kilometer Bangalore Ultra, but I had not run even a half marathon or a full marathon. So still I had, being still the bad guy in the community, I'm still doing my armchair theory on like how tough the Ironman can be. Okay, so doing my own calculation, okay, the 40-kilometer run or 42, whatever, and cycling 180, and okay, this. So I had a way of saying wow at the same time, not so wow. Okay, this pissed off a lot of people. I mean, I have my own way of admiring at people. This is definitely of a real challenging for humanly possible level. At the same time, so I give a lot of opinions. I gave, or rather I should say I gave, I stopped giving now, opinion, and those opinions generally are not based on what I am capable of. So I have kind of an assessment of like overall Indian athletes, where they are, even though they are not achieving anything outside or at the real international arena. My own theories of like generally, right? Okay, you can extrapolate a little bit. So that is when the debate of this, okay, why people are not able to do Ironman, not able to finish, and why the timings are not good, and then why we are not able to do RAM and things like that. So one of the point I said is it involves this logistics, I said, and we are still at economy where people won't spend a lot on the hobby, and people who are really capable of all these athletes, they are generally not a rich background, and people who are in a little bit well off, they won't get into these hobbies.
Right.
So that was a kind of time, right? So I got into a little bit of arguments, and on that, if you dig up, there will be things.
That BBC Google group,
Yes, that
was very, very active with all these kind of.
It was fun. It was fun.
All kinds of analysis, arguments, this, that.
Yeah. We were a very strong community,
Right.
so supporting each other at the same time. We used to discuss anything. I mean, so
long-winded emails for all that. No?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the one of the thing, as I said, was the Ironman, and then the RAM. So I knew I would never do RAM, even now. Of course, whether I would be able to finish or not, that is a different matter. but
just in terms of economics, it's a lot of
yeah,
this thing.
yeah.
Economics
But
and logistics.
but since I like got into a little bit of that argument, I wanted to do something worthy of it compared to RAM. So that the next thing, but I wanted it to be like a self-support and cheap. Okay, so that is when I chose TransAm. I didn't know about TransAm. So Anita's husband Sandeep, he was also a Brevet rider, and he was one of the knowledgeable guys in the
Very silent, but very strong and mentally stable and analytical and all that. Yeah.
very knowledgeable guy who doesn't speak much.
Yeah.
Okay, so he told me about this just before he moved to US, and I was up for it. So I signed up and I went. But I had
This was 2016.
2016. I had this. I had set on this in 2015 itself. So I had to do. Just finishing was not enough. If I had to prove anything, so I wanted to do it well. But I fell really sick before going itself, actually. Okay. So, but I didn't want to
not start.
So I still went with it, and still I was hoping that I would be able to do in a reasonable, respectable target. So so it's a long story about the ride. I can talk about it, but that is how I got into it. So, right. So I'm not very proud of the reason why I went it. It's not me generally who would say, okay, I will prove it, that kind of a thing.
Right. But reasons can be umpteen. But it can be like, when I got into cycling, RAM was like something like, whoa, something.
It is still. I mean, it is still.
For someone who cannot ride, was riding just 50 kilometers on a weekend. That is like something that is very at the top of ultra cycling, right?
Correct.
And it still is, like you correctly say.
I mean, it's not just the distance and the time constraint, right? The terrain also is massive climbs and desert and the cold weather, rain.
You will experience everything in that, and that was one of the things that I was like, I will do that someday. Anything that comes that we come across, I used to think, I would do that one day, right? I quickly realized that is not that's not something that I want to do.
You went as a crew for measure, I know that. And you had even more first-hand experience than me. Like I used to cheer a follow-up almost every hour. I would say, even during those races.
Right. So I went on a crew, not for RAM, but with Dipankar on a similar lands into some crazy ultra triathlon, right? So
the London or somewhere around that.
Correct. Lands into something. So what
if
it
I
does
remember correctly, run is some 40 or 80 kilometers.
90, 82 or something like that.
And the swim was some 11
kilometers.
Yes, I remember that.
And 540 kilometer ride, 11 kilometer swim, and then followed by 90 kilometer run, right? And we lost time in the navigation in the cycle and had to struggle for swim, and eventually had to give up in the run because he got injured and all that.
I remember, I think he was even struggling with the food. He had to eat curd
Yeah,
rice
yeah.
before the swim or something.
Yeah, because we kind of messed up. We hardly knew anything, right?
Yeah.
At that time, he was eating. Now I know from all this experience and with a 2020 vision, right? He was having a lot of muesli with curds or whatever. That is a lot of fiber, right? And he was having this tummy issues, right? He was having to go to the washroom, this because he was consuming a lot of this muesli for energy. Of course he has to eat, but that was not the right food at that time,
Especially when
because-
swimming is also involved.
right. And during cycling it was also it kind of started bloating him up, and lot of fiber and lot of gastric issues came up. But yeah, that's how it went.
Yeah.
But what,
But his swimming still, I saw the timing he did. Oh, amazing.
because we ate into the swimming time because of the navigation issues, and we lost more than 2 hours for the swim, but he still managed to
Yes, I
finish
remember
in the
that.
cutoff.
Amazing
That
swimming
guy
speed.
is
Yeah.
something else.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it was a sad thing that he could not finish the run. If he even was in a state to walk also, he would have finished. But that's the kind of guy,
He has a
would
lot of
attempt
great,
all those mad things. He didn't share to anyone, but he attempted like 10 Ironmans in 10 days and all that. He did more than 5-6 in day and had to give up. He did a lot of this nonsense, crazy stuff.
Yeah. I know he and Nagaraj, these two were the stars I used to follow in terms of
Ironman, correct.
Yeah.
But so we were talking about the ability, and unless you there is always that, right? You got to you will have that perception what one could do, what I could do, what a reasonably better athlete than us could do. That sort of armchair analysis all of us do at one point of time, right? Is just that you would voice it out, and it would get into debates and all that. So
I think I get into the debate not because of just the armchair thing. I consider myself a really nice person, but at the same time I'm a very emotionless person.
Practical,
yeah. So when I say things, it looks right on the face,
right?
So that doesn't go well. So that's one of the reasons I avoid getting into discussions these days. But I really do admire these guys. They have held the thoughts. They are the thoughts bearers of the sport.
So you went there to TransAm, right? But if you don't mind me asking, what was you felt sick before even starting?
Before even started, I felt sick. So then, how I felt sick. Okay, there is a little of precursor to that. I was afraid of what kind of food I would get there. Okay, so it's a self-support, right? And it's not like on the freeway. It's not cycling without the pilot vehicle is not allowed there on the freeway. So TransAm is typically all country roads. Okay, so they touch small counties in between. Like sometimes the counties will be the population of like in hundreds, not even thousand, right? So I was really worried what kind of food I would get, because my main fuel here in Brevets is rice. Okay, so if I order like typically I would say I order 2 full meals,
Mm.
not 1 full meal. That's how I ride.
Right.
So I wouldn't get rice, and I'm not used to eating a lot of fat.
Mm.
There I'm going to get a lot of fatty stuff. So my plan was to go all out non-veg, including cheese and stuffs. So I wanted to transition my body into a little bit of fat diet. Okay.
Mhm.
Again, I'm a very experimental guy when it comes to this. I read stuffs, but I follow my own thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, I should get used to it. And what is the cheapest way for me to get into the fat diet? I thought I'll try the groundnut.
Mm.
So I used to soak the groundnut, boil it soft in the pressure cooker, eat it, and this diet I did for about 45 days. A plan was to do for 60 days before the ride. June 5th or 6th was the ride. So 2 months before, so April, May. Okay, so
Was it the only thing you were eating, or what?
that was the main thing. In between, I used to back up with some salad and plus omelets. Salt is there. Okay. So I used to train, run, and mostly runs. Once in a while, go for a ride. Just 2 weeks before that, 3 weeks I think before that, I fell sick. That was roughly about some 45 days of eating that ground. Okay. I fell sick, really sick. I was down for 2 weeks. I didn't go to work. I was mostly on the bed. Then just when
What was the like symptoms, or like fever?
it was like a
or-
viral fever.
Oh,
But
okay.
I went and checked for whatever doctors. They couldn't figure out what it is. But I was getting better. Then we went for one practice ride, not as a TransAm ride, just our team ride. Deepak, Gana, Tasker, Kiran, all this. We went to Kalhati climb. I did pretty good climb, and then had lunch and came down again. On the way back, I'm back to sick.
Oh.
Okay, so till almost the day of the travel, I was sick. Again, I traveled. Then Sandeep, he was in the Bay Area where my office workplace was there. I took as a work trip just to save the ticket cost. My boss sponsored that. Okay, like as a work trip. So I worked there for like 3-4 days, and then I went for a ride with Sandeep. I climbed. He took me to a climb. It was pretty good climb. I did pretty well, and then we stopped for breakfast in a nice fresh bread place. It's pretty crowded, famous for freshly
Fresh
baked,
bread, yeah.
freshly baked breads. I don't know what the name was, but it was pretty famous. I ate that, and immediately after that, I fell sick again. Okay, so the kind of sickness was like I was not bedridden. I could feel things are burning all over my body.
Right.
Number one, and I could feel like literally burn through the mainly the upper part. Okay, it's not just the chest. Chest also burns. Then through the hands also it burns. That is the number one, and the number two, I would pee a lot after once this happens.
Right.
Okay, so it's like keep drink. I will dehydrate just by peeing, and then like I was peeing so much that I had to use the boosters even in the US, even with Sandeep, right? So I would do this, and then I would drink continuously and do this, and that time my energy level would tank out.
Right.
Okay, so this roughly is going to happen almost throughout the TransAm ride. After every eating, next 3 to 4 hours is just going to be, filling the bladder and this energy
Right.
crash.
Mm.
Okay. And then whatever is left, whatever the body could absorb a little bit of that, then I ride.
Right.
That is how I was. Okay, so the journey of the overall TransAm, I started the ride. I mean, the night before that itself, we had dinner with Anita and Sandeep. They came to drop me off to the start.
Mm.
Um, I didn't feel good the night itself, but I rode. I rode the whole day, ate whatever some food I had packed, and the night also I rode. The next day, it started feeling bad.
Mm.
But I kept rolling. But after about 10 days, okay, just fast forward with this like
Right.
niggling issues, just about 10 days, I had a severe pain in the lower abdomen kind of a thing. I didn't know what it was. I had started eating almond and the cashews, those roasted ones.
Right.
They have the packed ones, right?
Mm.
I believe that caused a little bit of digestive issues. That's what I think that was the reason.
Right.
Because I announced that I would quit at that point. Actually, I went, and then I saw that it is that ride is supposed to be 125 miles
Mm.
with nothing in between.
Okay.
Okay, 125 miles with nothing in between.
Right.
Okay, so I went almost at least 40% of it. Then I saw that I can't reach to the point where I'm supposed to reach.
Mm.
So I came back to the previous town
Mm-hmm.
where I had lunch
Right.
in the night, and then I said I'm quitting. And next day I was just waiting out how to go back home.
Mm.
I had a flight booked from the finish point. At that time, a few of my good friends had called me up and forced me to go to doctor. Normally, I don't go to doctors. So doctors were good. They tested me. They suspected dehydration, the sodium level, and all that. I said, I don't have any of those issues. I can tell you that with whatever experience I had, and some that creatine level or whatever that when you exert too much, some of those chemicals they tested. Overall, they said nothing wrong. Okay, so I came back to the hotel, and then the pain was still there. But after a few like uncomfortable motion toilets, I started feeling good. Okay, then I thought, if I'm going to struggle so much to even find an arrangement to reach my flight point, I mean, there is no airport nearby, nothing, and I have to arrange something to reach there. Why not even continue to ride? And my wife, actually, I quit thinking that it's irresponsible for me to continue in that state. But my wife was supporting me that if you even think you have some chance of finishing, you should continue. So that was a trigger point. I said, yes, I am feeling better. I will continue. So that day, I also went to this one of the Thai restaurant or something where rice was available. I ate a lot of rice and I felt really good. In the process, I have lost about 2 days. So I continued, and I went on in this state. In between also, there were times where people stopped for ice cream and all, and I thought I should try. That knocked me off. Okay, so It was around the evening. It was a very hot day. I ate the ice cream, and then I had to do some nasty climb. Okay, so like realized I was not in the condition to climb. I wanted to come back and stop, and I stopped a couple of cars who passed by. I mean, maybe 2 cars passed, and they said there is nothing here, and I couldn't see anything also basically.
Right.
So I didn't have any other option. So I started climbing. So with no option, then I passed out. I knew I was going to pass out. So then I just pulled to the side in the climb itself. It's a narrow road. It's very narrow, just about 2 cars can squeeze in. So I moved really to uncomfortable side so that in case some vehicle comes, I should be safe. And when I gained back consciousness,
Wow.
it was probably about past midnight, and then I was feeling good. So I haven't had dinner, so I climbed slowly with the empty stomach, and the next day I reached at dawn to the next kind of a town, and then I had some of the fast foods like French fries and things were available. I ate that, and that's how I continued. There were okay. So about this, the ride, I wasn't really planning to do a lot of stops. My main idea was just to take quick naps here, there, wherever I can get, like crash for like couple of hours, maybe twice in a day, and continue.
So to kind of give an idea, right? TransAm is across America. What are the distances from where to where?
Okay, so it starts from the Oregon. It is the northwest state. Then it comes all the way till Kansas center, and then goes to the southeast, West Virginia.
Right.
So that is the finish. Okay, there is another start in the opposite direction, but that is not popular.
Right.
So the most of the crowd is from the other side.
So this is some 4,300 kilometers or something?
It is about 6,800 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it is self-support. We can't, in Brevets we can ride together, the riders. Here it's not, that's not even allowed.
Right.
Maybe you can chit chat for a while and things like that, but
and you should be on your own.
You cannot pace line. Like a Brevets we allow that, right? You can't support each other. So that's roughly about
6,800 kilometers with all those climbs and stuff.
Yes.
Self-supported.
Self-support.
Wow.
So the kind of weather conditions is like it's a June, summer, like when the sun is to the Tropic of Cancer. So the states like Montana, Colorado and all, they get sunlight almost like 16, 17 hours of sunlight. Okay, so day starts maybe around 4 a.m. and then sun sets at around maybe 10:30. Okay, so it slowly starts with a warm, and by the time around 10 o'clock, it gets to around like close to 40. And this continues till almost like 8 p.m. Then the same day, night, because of the altitude, at least Colorado and all that, temperature drops to again around 0.
Whoa.
This is on the same day.
My God.
So
crazy.
I had to prepare for both.
Right.
Okay. I was helped by Sandeep to prepare a little bit on this, like
The gear
buying
and everything.
gear, because I would say I was a little naive to think that I can survive without proper gears. Not that I didn't prepare at all, but he saw my preparation. He said
No.
it's not good. So he took me to a few shops. I bought a few gloves and a few thick socks. I cycle with a sandal, by the way, because I
Right.
didn't want to manage shoes in the rain and all that. Self-support rides has its own challenges, right?
Right.
How much things you can carry. In fact, I carried even 5 liters of water. I had 2 bottles, 1 liter each, attached to the fork.
Yeah.
And then the main frame and vertical and the top tube. So
Yeah.
basically 5 bottles.
This is all on that between Sport One.
Between
right away.
Sport One,
Yeah.
and then I had headlights, which are for a magnetic light, which works on the rim, contactless rim, kind of
Right.
induced
Yeah,
current.
yeah.
Okay, so
Dynamo kind of thing.
yeah. Except that there is no coil or anything. It's
Contactless, so that no
contactless.
friction. Also.
Yeah. So it didn't slow me down at
Yeah.
all, and it was good enough for me. The light throw. So a little bit of that preparation helped. Still, like it was, nights were terrible. Even within the glove, I can't feel anything.
Right.
It's like I'm just holding on, and when it is hot, it's really hot. The water itself would be literally, bottle will be carrying hot water.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many days did it take for you to complete this?
27 days and about some 7 hours.
So this has a cutoff or something?
It doesn't have cutoff. So the top guys generally finish about 17, 18 days. That is the top 1, 2 guys.
Right.
And if the top 5 guys, maybe about 20, 21 days. My target was about that 22 days, maximum 22 days kind of a thing. So this sickness plus the 2 days loss in that thing, all together added to the 27 days. And also the plan, as I said, I wasn't planning to do a lot of stops. Maybe, I had plans to stop just for bath, and if I really need a longer break, get into a motel kind of a thing. That was a plan, but I ended up getting into the hotel almost every other day. That increased the cost, and it also cost me time in the whole process of book and then check in, do all that kind of a thing. But that kind of helped me to manage,
kind of
recover. Yeah.
So by the end of this, were you like, were the symptoms of that sickness still there, or you were
No, it never
more or less fine?
it never went away. So
Okay.
I was not bedridden, but I eat something, and this what generally would happen unless I eat rice.
Right. So anything other than rice was like causing you some other all these feeling of heat all over the body and pains and stuff like that.
There was once in Kansas, I ate. There was a restaurant which advertised gluten-free pizza. Okay, so I thought I would try. That also felt good. Okay.
So maybe that gluten thing was the...
Could be. Okay. But I never had this issue before.
Right.
Something that is new. So after coming home, a lot of theories had, like, I was flouting a lot of theories, what is happening. I still had that burning issue for like almost a year after TransAm also.
Wow.
Okay. So later on, little bit about it. I'll touch upon how I got how I got to the root cause, which I think is the root cause.
Yeah,
till
yeah,
now.
yeah. It'll be
It's not
interesting.
100% confirmed.
Yeah, your theory
Was
Mm.
we at home we were eating groundnut oil,
Mm.
not the refined one, the local,
Mm.
the pressed
Correct.
ones,
Cold
and
pressed
the
ones.
cold pressed
Yeah.
ones. We use, my wife is from Coimbatore. She is a Tamilian,
Mm.
so whenever I go to Coimbatore, I used to get stock of this on the way
Right.
from this village,
Mm.
small towns. A few months we didn't travel to Coimbatore, and we ran out of the stock.
Mm.
Okay, so then we started taking other oil. In about a month, I started feeling good.
Mm.
And I told this to my wife. I didn't connect it yet. She was like, could it be because we stopped the groundnut?
Mm.
Okay, so then, yeah, maybe then we should try resuming the groundnut again.
Mm.
And then I resumed it. I felt the same thing.
Ah.
Okay. By the way, 2017, I attempted Bliss in the Hills again. That was the year I didn't finish Bliss in the Hills.
Mm.
Third attempt.
Right.
First two attempts I finished. I never thought I would ever quit ride like that.
Mm.
So this lingering problem actually was there a year even after the TransAm.
Right.
So once I quit the groundnut, I started feeling good. I don't know how I developed this allergy. So now going back, my groundnut died before the ride and
Right.
falling ill. And I try to read up a little bit on how one can develop allergy in later point of life.
Mm.
I couldn't really connect how that diet could have, but it's a long shot. Somebody might laugh at this theory.
Yeah.
My theory is like I might have got very bad viral fever or something. At that point, my immunity probably was trying to fight foreign proteins in the body, and somewhere maybe the groundnut protein it recognized, like how sometimes we develop immunity is like you fall sick, the immune system is looking for the foreign proteins, right? And the virus and all these are proteins, right? So it recognize and then say, okay, this is
Started attacking.
This is something I should maybe develop antigen for that, and also the opposite, the
Correct.
destruction,
Yeah.
and start attacking. So
Yeah.
so generally that could be kind of theory.
Right.
This is a long shot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could never find
That's what you were.
how this could connect to that. Maybe I developed this just out of nothing, maybe without this diet also.
Right.
But as of today, whenever I take groundnut, I get a little bit of heavy head, a little bit of foggy head, and I don't feel good. So I avoid it, but I don't get that the burn feeling and all that anymore. Yeah.
Right. Very interesting. Yeah, that's that kind of messed with your whole your whole experience of TransAm, but also like more than a year after that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But glad you were able to kind of get out of that funk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But since then, you said you did not finish, Bliss in the Hills after that.
Yeah.
Right. I saw that you developed a little bit of gap from cycling. When did you kind of stop actively cycling that much?
Okay, so stopping the cycling was not related to any of this actually. I was still loving cycling, but at home front, my responsibilities grew more because my elder daughter was going to appear for 10th grade, and then I had a younger daughter also going to school, um, I had to, dedicate more time at home. My wife also goes to work, same IT field, IT job.
Right.
In fact, she is a little more focused on career than me, so I had to do more than just supporting.
Yeah.
I still wanted to do something physical exercise, if not at least at a competitive level. So I calculated that okay, if I go for a cycle ride, just to do 100 kilometer, I still lose like 4 or 5 hours, including
Preparing and
preparing, putting the gears, and then out and come back, and plus there is the,
cool off period also.
the equipment, putting things back in place, all that. Instead of that, if I just go out and go for a run for 1 hour or even at the max 2 hours, I was getting a lot more satisfaction.
Right.
So that is when actually my run got into traction. Okay, so since then I started running more regularly.
Right.
Until then, I had not even done I did a full marathon in 2014, but or was it 15? The Bangalore Marathon, first inaugural. That was my first marathon. 14 and 15 I did.
Right.
Then I skipped the 16 and I continued doing 17, 18 and so on.
Right.
I had done ultra running as well. So I was drawn more towards that instead of cycling.
Right. Right. So when was this transition slowly towards running? Which year?
Okay, so running from the challenge that I had with a colleague, so I started running around 2008, the Sunfist Bangalore 10K. There was the first organized 10K event Bangalore had.
Right.
Even the timing chip was not mandatory. I just signed up, no timing chip. I just ran. 2009 onwards, I think they mandated timing chip. So I signed up. So 2009, then 2010, I believe, I went to this Bangalore Ultra 25K. And the 2011, I think I did Kaveri Trail Marathon, half marathon. The one conducted by Runners for Life.
Right.
I don't know whether you have heard of the
Yeah. Runners for Life. Correct. RFL.
Yeah, they were
Arvind and all these.
Yeah, so they were the guys in the running that time.
Correct.
Okay, so I did that Kaveri Trail Marathon. And I, even that time, right, even though I had never run beyond 10K, I said I should be able to do 1 hour 40 minutes, half marathon.
Right.
Again, the arm theory.
Right.
I did around 1 hour 41 minutes, and it's not a tar road. It's a
it's a trail, right?
Unpaved kind of. It's not
so
total mud trail,
track,
but
mostly.
there is uneven stones and all that.
Right.
So that is how I came to know I can run. Okay, so I kept a little bit of touch with the run. So then I said I want to do more. Okay, then I wanted to do more, means I don't want to keep trying a lot of things. I want to do once for all and just be done with it.
Right.
So then what is then? The Bangalore Ultra had a 100K category, 100 kilometers.
Right.
I said, this is what I should do. So I signed up for 100 kilometer in 2012. Okay. So I had not run, except that one half marathon, I had not run. Bangalore Ultra had done a 25K by then. I had not run a full marathon. But still I said, I want to do this 100 and then be done with it. Okay. It was in November. That's how the Bangalore Ultra used to be held.
Be done with it means you want to stop.
I just wanted to see how far I can run.
Achha.
So
to prove for yourself how far.
To myself.
Correct,
yeah, this is not with anybody challenging
Right,
or
right.
anything. So unlike the cycling part. So, but I signed up for a half Ironman distance triathlon, which was held by CTC, it's a trekking club in Nagala.
Right.
Okay, this happened, I think, 1 week before the 100K this thing.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I went there, and I was totally exhausted. In the cycling part, it was very hot, and my swimming is a brute force swimming. It's not the
Technique
technical
kind of thing, yeah.
swimming.
Right.
Okay, the village typically jump into the river, put the head up and swim.
Right.
Because I didn't know how to. Even today, I don't know how to breathe to the side and
Yeah.
put the head inside and swim. So in the trail run there, the run part was in the trail. There I kind of developed a little bit of an ankle twist on the left side, I believe, or was it right? Okay, I don't remember. I developed the ankle twist a little bit on that. So I was a little bit worried about my 100K, which is going to happen after 6 days.
Right.
So while running, again at that time I didn't know what is a good timing for a 100K. Okay, so I ran reasonably hard. It's a 12.5 kilometer out and back.
It's a bamboo forest, no?
In
Was
it was not Hasargata. It was, yeah, it's not bamboo forest also. It's somewhere, I forgot the place name. From Hasargata, they had moved to that
Right.
just then. It was a kind of bamboos, but I don't remember it being called bamboo forest.
Okay, yeah.
So
Near
it's
Hennur.
Hennur, yes.
Correct, yeah.
So it's a 12.
Hennur is a
12
bamboo forest. Thing.
okay.
Yeah,
So 12.5 kilometer out and back.
yeah.
So I was doing this 12.5 in 1 hour and back 1 hour. So I like 25 kilometer. I was done like 2 hours 4 minutes or so. Then I changed my socks. Took a little bit of time, and then the 50 again. The next 25 also I did like another maybe 2.5 hours. Like I was done 50 in less than like some
4.5 hours.
like 5 kilometers, 5 hours or something. And then subconsciously I was protecting the twisted ankle. Then slowly the other leg started developing pain because it was taking imbalance load. I in the like 1 lap 25, second lap 50. In the out, the third lap, even before I reached the U-turn, I was in some sort of a real discomfort. Around 60, then returned 65, and after 62.5 U-turn and 65, that was the first sign of me limping. Okay, so it wasn't good sign, and I had slowed down and checked what is going to happen. 6.5 hours, 65 kilometers. Then from there, the next 35 kilometers, I think I took in total around 13.5 hours or something.
Right. More than double.
Yeah. I didn't attempt another 100 after that.
Right.
But Bangalore Marathon came, and then I started running the Bangalore Marathon. I didn't go anywhere else also to run a marathon.
So now after your renewed energy to kind of focus more on the run, this is what, 2020? When was this?
See, I did 100K in 2012 November, and there was a closed chapter. Okay, I didn't even. Okay, one more half marathon I signed up. I did. That's all. That is where actually Inot, me, and Bobby, the barefoot, we three were actually in that nice road 21 half marathon. We three were there till the U-turn.
Nice.
And we three finished very close also. Like I think Bobby finished 1 hour 29 minutes something, and I finished 1 hour some 31.5, 32 minutes kind of a thing. Then Inot finished just about a minute after me.
Yeah.
And then Inot was looking out for cycling. That's how he came to BBCh.
Right.
He ruled quite a bit there for about a
He's
year.
a strong
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
So
Spanish, no?
I love to remember that event, this half marathon, not because of what I did, because I ran with two legendary guys,
With Bobby and
with Bobby and Inot.
Yeah.
One took off in the running, one took off in the cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Amazing,
it's
amazing.
something I serious about, just
Right.
remembering. Yeah.
Right. And then, yeah.
So Bangalore Marathon came.
Mhm.
I as a ritual, I ran almost every year
Mm.
except the 2016 TransAm year.
Mm.
Since then, I have been running almost every year, even
Right.
in the years where I got into bike accident and injured my leg. Even then, I ran barefoot, even though I couldn't wear a shoe. Still, kind of. So, yeah, I still run, and in between. I also started loving about the trail runs.
Mm.
When I say trail, not the Bangalore Ultra,
Mm.
because that's a flat trail.
Right. Or hilly trails.
Technical hilly
Right.
trails.
Yeah.
So the Malnad Ultra, I heard about it,
Right.
and I said, this is something I should try.
Mm.
Deepak Masavade had one podium and all before even I heard about it.
Right.
So he was in the Cleated Warriors. So I was like, oh, Deepak, I want to try this.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't want to. It had categories, I think 50K, 80K, and 110.
Mm.
I didn't want to try 50. I didn't want to try 80. I said, I want to do the 110. Oh yeah, so that was another memorable.
Which
event.
year was this?
This was, I think, 2019 or
Right.
yeah, I think 2019, just before the
Pandemic.
pandemic.
Mm.
Okay,
How did that go?
or was it 2020? No, 2020 he cancelled.
Mm.
Okay, so the pandemic.
Mm.
So 2019.
Mm.
I was, me and Deepak ran very hard.
Mm.
50K, like we nailed it in about some 6, no, I think 5, little more than 5 hours.
Mm.
But we kind of burnt out there.
Yeah.
Again, inexperience.
Right.
Okay. He has been a specialist in the 50K category. He had
Right.
won podium and all that.
Right.
He had done under 5 hours.
So he must
previous year.
have done the same
Yeah.
pricing.
So we had run 110 as if we were running 50K. And another thing that threw up the excitement was that year Malnad Ultra had a concept of team event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get around 6 people or 7 if I remember correctly.
Mm.
It had to have women in every category,
Mm.
50, 80 and 110. At least 3 women, you can have more.
Mm.
And then the rest have to be men, and there have to be minimum some 3 or 2 in 110.
Mm.
And again 2 or 3 in 80 and another 2 or 3 in 50, something like that. So I think it adds up all to 8 people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So myself, Deepak, and then one more girl, Aparajita,
Mm.
and then Dipankar Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 4 of us sign up for the 110.
Right.
And then there were other 80 and all that. There were others and 50 and all that.
Mm.
So there was another team. I think they came on invite from the organizer, Indian Navy team.
Oh, okay.
I was excited about it. Even though I had no experience of the thing, I was very excited. I think that excitement carried away, and the Deepak and I were chasing behind the top runners.
Right.
Till in the 50K, till we were around like 5th, 6th kind of within the close range.
Right.
So after that, we took a long break. We knew we were not in good shape.
Mm.
And then while continuing after the 50, the next 60 was the loop of 30 kilometers to be repeated twice.
Right.
That loop was not marked properly. We got completely lost. And then we got really demotivated there. But we still kind of finished with a walk. It was like water logging and that like a coffee plantation, then getting down on the mud slide and all that. It was fun.
Right.
So since then, I kind of went to almost all Malnad Ultra. The one event that I love going back.
Right.
Yeah.
Even Ashwini kind of talks very highly of that event.
Oh yeah, the Ashwini was running the same category that year. She was running very strong.
Yeah.
She finished way ahead of me and Deepak.
Right.
And
So what other ultra events did you do?
okay, so little bit of the story before that. Okay, Malnad Ultra had some qualifier. Like
Right.
you have to have either 2 marathons within a certain cutoff time, or you do one ultra minimum of 75 kilometer within a certain amount of time. Right? So I had to qualify, and I didn't have even a marathon on my name to even submit. So I wanted to do a 75, but I didn't want to sign up something like 75K, and then because the ultra marathons are expensive, I wanted to do something value for money. So the only value for money you can think of in running is sign up for a fixed time and run how much ever you want.
Right.
In a loop. So I signed up for this Bangalore endurance race.
Right.
I remember it was a weekend of Independence Day, August 15, 16, 17 or something like that. So I signed up for 12 hours and I chose 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay.
Right.
And again, the same, I pull Deepak as my support. In the sense, support means not crew.
Yeah.
Like run along with me,
Pacing,
give me company.
Right.
Let's do it together, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. Because after the that 100 kilometer in 13 hours or whatever in 2012, I haven't done since then. So, and it was that weekend was heavy rain. Okay, and it was in a kind of a farmhouse kind of a thing. A loop of, if I remember correctly, just about 650 or meters, not kilometer.
Wow, 650 meters.
It's just a little more than a stadium kind of a thing. Okay, people go insane just doing that loop.
Right.
Okay. I signed up, I went, we started running, and me, Deepak, I brought a lot of rice that I thinking that's going to be my fuel. I don't do any of this energy gel or anything, right? So I cooked rice softly, fried with the egg and some shredded chicken fried. So chicken egg fried rice. I packed, put in the car. I went in the scooter, put this in the car dicky of Deepak. Car was parked somewhere on the course on the side so that we could stop anytime and eat. So we went like that. It was going well. We were doing around 11 kilometers per hour average, around covering about 11 kilometers every hour, and then stretching every hour. Around about 4 hours, we took a little longer break. Our target was about 120 kilometers. The time to 12 hours record, Indian record, was very small number, something around 126 kilometers or something. And if things go well, we thought we could even break that. At least I told people, give me company. So we were going into the night. After about 4.5 hours, it started raining. So we wore the rain jacket and nothing for down, and shoes were all drenched, and the course was with all puddles. Okay, so I had shoe with the sole already come. It had come out before, and I had put with the solution, fixed myself.
Right.
So that sole and had come out and all that.
Right.
After about an hour of running in the slush, I said, okay, I can try barefoot. So I removed that and ran into the puddle. It is at least this much depth. Okay, it's above the ankle, the water level. Okay, so people were not able to cope with that because they had never used it. But I am from a farming background with the paddy and all. We do all the time in water, so I kind of started enjoying it. Okay, barefoot. Okay, the trail was actually, they had chopped the weeds and all. There were little sharp things poking and all that. But overall, I was okay. So the trail at the end, I think Ashok Trivangayam, the word he said in one of the comments, you plowed the course.
Very aptly.
Yeah, very aptly.
The poet.
Yeah. In the night, Deepak couldn't handle the water, and it became very drowsy, so he had to quit after around 67 kilometers or something. I was also drowsy, but the Aparajita, the Apu, who was the team member for the 110, she was also there for the 12 hours or 24 hours. I don't remember that. She had caffeine gel. Caffeine. So I took a couple of them from her. That really worked well for me, and that propelled me throughout the night. By morning, I had finished little more than 107 kilometers.
Wow.
In the slush.
Nice. Crazy.
So since then, I have been doing at least one trail ultra every year.
Wow.
So I followed up Malnad Ultra with 80 kilometers the year after that. Not the 2020. 2021, just there was a lockdown opening. So that time they removed the 100K just to make it like shorter, because arrangement and all was difficult during the COVID time. So it was not a conscious decision that I went for 80. So I signed up for the longest 80. Then it was nice. It's like 100 and all is towards the end. I could feel the wearing off of the energy level. 80 was just sweet. So I won it comfortably. Then I wanted to try 50. The year after, I signed up for 50. There actually I lost by about 20 some seconds to a young guy. He's a known ultra runner in the international circuit. Sanat Sachdev. He's from Rajasthan. He came for that. We were running, very close. In fact, I took a lead at around 37 kilometer mark or something. Then what happened in one of the downhill, one twig got stuck in my foot, and I was trying to get rid of it by kicking it backward. That time I had a calf muscle pull. That took a toll, and still I finished, I think, around 4 hours 50 minutes kind of just behind him.
Nice.
So that's roughly about what I have been doing.
Nice. But so even in ultras, podiums are not alien to you, I guess. Now recently you won the Bangalore Backyard Ultra.
Yeah.
So how that was like so the concept of backyard ultras. Can you explain a little bit? It's like 6.4 kilometers every hour or something like that.
Yeah, so the Backyard Ultra is actually, I heard about it just a couple of months back. But it has been there from 2013 or 14.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had heard about it, actually, I would have jumped into it. Okay, so Backyard Ultra is like you have to run 100 miles in 24 hours. Okay, split equally into 24 parts. That works out to about 6.7 kilometer. This has to be done in an hour. So it's like if you break down the race, it's like a 6.7 kilometer
every hour
race to be finished every hour. There is no ranking in that. You just have to finish within an hour.
Right.
Okay, there is no ranking, and there is a race flag off at every hour. You have to start at the flag off.
Right. Otherwise, you cannot start.
You cannot start late or okay.
You can finish early and take rest or refill or whatever, but you cannot start later than the flag off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to emphasize on that because when I first heard about you have to finish 6.7 in an hour, I thought okay, that means if I need a nap or a longer eating time break, I could finish 6.7, let's say roughly 40-45 minutes, then start 15 minutes later because I can again finish the next 6.7 in 40-45 minutes, right? So I can optimize the time, right? But they said no.
You have to start at that.
You have to start.
Yeah.
And once you start, you can't come back. You can't even come back and grab water. You can go to the restroom. The restroom is generally at the start point. But flag off, you have to be there. And after the flag off, you can go to the restroom. After that, you can't say, oh, let me grab water bottle from my tent or grab my headlight. No, nothing is allowed. On the course, you cannot get any help from anyone except another runner. You cannot even buy with money. In Brevets or TransAm, you can buy things.
Right.
Anything that is any facility available to everyone, you can avail in the Brevets or TransAm. I mean, like if somebody wants to support, let's say throw in some food, as long as it's available to everyone, rule allows that.
Yeah.
Here, you cannot do any such thing.
Yeah.
So bad that even your family member or friends want to come and cheer you on the course. That's not allowed.
Except for the start.
Except at the start.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the reasoning behind that is that let me finish on the rule. Okay.
Right.
So now this is the rule, and the whoever does not, whoever fails to stand in the next start line is a DNF.
Right.
Okay. It continues till there is only one man standing.
One man or one woman standing.
One man or one woman standing. And that one man or one woman also has to finish the
next one,
one lap alone.
Right.
Then only is a finisher. Otherwise, everyone is DNF.
Amazing concept.
Yeah. Okay, about the cheering part.
Right.
Okay, so the race is a lot of mental than the physical.
Right.
Of course, physical is also there. I'll tell a little bit about the challenges of this. Okay, let me cover on the mental part.
Right.
So you are not only trying to assess your ability on how long I can go on. You are also assessing others because there is no finish time.
Right.
You are also assessing others.
Correct.
So it plays a mind game like, if everyone else is going to quit, let's say after 30 hours, then even if I'm tired at say 28,
I'll go one more.
I think I can survive till 31.
Yeah.
I'll go one more.
Yeah.
But if the people who are on the course, you see that they will last till 35 or 40, and right now at 28 I'm feeling pretty
Struggling.
bad, struggling,
I might give
then what's the point of me going now?
Yeah.
Now you see this mental game, right?
Yeah.
So this is where even the cheers from friends, relatives matter,
Right.
They can give you that nudge. You can go one more. And when you are alone, you may not get that nudge and you might quit.
Right.
So that is the, I think that is what I believe.
Right.
On the challenges, 6.7 in an hour is a very average pace. It's about little more than 8 minutes, a few seconds per kilometer, I guess. It's not at all challenging, but you add that you have to stretch in the between, you have to use washroom, you have to eat food. Not only eat food, you have to digest also. And generally, I don't think anybody does the jail and all this, because expectation is that it can go a lot longer. I don't know how we are keeping with the time, but
it's fine. Yeah.
So people have to, do more of a regular thing. Then next part is sleep. Breve, you can meet the control point early and take longer break.
Right.
Here you cannot accumulate time.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot say, the 100 miles in 24 hours. Okay, let me finish the 100 mile in, let's say, 20 hours and take the next 4 hours break. No. Okay, this throws in a challenge of how you will manage the sleep.
Right.
Breve, you can sleep easily 2 hours, 3 hours, even 4 hours if you do reasonably well, right? Every day you get that. You won't get that in the Backyard Ultra. So this is the, I think, most challenging according to me.
Right. So you ended up winning by completing how many loops?
Yeah, so the Bangalore one that I won, I did, was it 30 or 29? I think 29.
Right.
Yeah. Ashwini did 28.
Ashwini was the one who, there is a name for that also, I think.
Assist.
Yeah. So the person who assisted the winner to go the longest, I guess.
Correct.
Maybe the reason behind that name. But it's 28 she finished and you.
The importance of the assist is, just because you can run how many ever hours, this rule doesn't allow you to do that. Right.
Only if someone else also is there, you can continue running.
Right. So it doesn't matter how many strong runners or weak runners are there in the field, but the last two
will stretch the time.
Yeah,
and the
they are the ones that matter. So assist is given a lot of importance in this race. I was assist, by the way, in Coimbatore just a month before that.
How many loops were there?
I did 36 loops there. It was hot, March 23rd or something.
Wow.
Like a really hot day. Bangalore was also hot, by the way. It was just before the monsoon.
36 loops ended up being how many kilometers?
I think 242 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah. 242 kilometers. I was the assist there. I did everything well. Even, in fact, my legs were doing good. My sleep pattern was doing good. I messed up with the electrolyte.
Okay. What happened then?
So this is another area. If I have to talk, I can talk a lot. But in brief, I generally don't do any of this gel or expensive electrolytes. At the most, Electrol or Energal, that is what I generally do. In the Malnad Ultra that I won in the 50 kilometer earlier, I mentioned, one experiment I did that year before that 50K, where I was competing with the professional level
Yeah.
Chanat Sajdev. Okay, so I did a diet only on green moong dal sprout for almost 100 days.
Okay.
But before the Malnad Ultra race, maybe around 2 months. But I continued another 2 months. Okay. In that race, before that, so the only green moong dal sprout, nothing, absolutely nothing, no salt, no other supplement.
Oh.
Okay.
No other food.
No other food.
Okay.
Only this.
Wow.
Only this. I did about 100 days, but 2 months before that. So no added salt also.
Okay.
Okay. So I was running very good without anything. In fact, before that, me and Deepak went to Nandi Hills to run. Okay. Before the run, I took oat flakes, like Quaker, that brand.
Right.
Rolled one. So I soaked overnight, cold. Again, no salt or sugar. I ate that just as an extra quick burn carb. Went and ran Nandi up and down 3 trips, plus another half, 3.5. No electrolyte. My sweat was very well managed, clean sweat, and I was really getting leaner body. So I really liked that experience, and I felt that helped me perform fantastic in my Malnad Ultra. So I wanted to do some sort of that without electrolyte in the Backyard Ultra, because it's not a race which just gets over in 4 hours.
Right.
Okay, you had electrolyte, whatever messed up the body. Okay, done, over, take a rest. So I wanted to do the safer thing that I know. So I went with no electrolyte, nothing, and I never used painkiller or any of those sprays, Volini or whatever people use, right? So the first day was very good, but it was very hot. Second day also, again, sun came blazing. Like after about some 27, 28 hours, I was worried about
March in Coimbatore, of course.
So I was worried about my electrolyte cramping and all, if it was going to be issue. So I started gulping down to beat the heat and any other issues. I started gulping down a lot of electrolytes. Okay, and I also didn't know that there were ice water to drink. So I was drinking normal water, which was hot by the time I reached the mid course.
Right.
Okay, and that I believe that was a cause for me to develop some sort of irregular heartbeat. Okay.
Okay.
So I could feel that my heart rate was not regular, and I'm pinning down on the electrolyte as the culprit myself, because I had faced this issue in one of the stadium run 24 hours. Okay, so I did this 12 hours endurance run in the slush. Those organizers are called the Basin Sports. Okay,
right.
So the Susil and the brother, that Basin, they also do a lot of these ultras, right? 100, 200. They themselves run.
Yeah.
He was there on the 24-hour stadium run. And I faced this issue there after 12 hours or so. And he told me it must be the electrolyte problem, because he has seen other runners who participate in his organized events, and when they give up the electrolyte, they start feeling good.
Oh,
okay,
interesting.
So yeah,
right.
So but I didn't get a chance to experiment this.
Right.
So in the Backyard Ultra, I was doing that. First day I felt good. Second day, this happened. Okay. So I didn't want to continue the race, even though my leg was feeling really good, because I don't didn't want to take a chance on the matter of heart.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it kind of feels irresponsible
Correct.
to do that, right?
Mm.
With the family still,
Yeah.
So I quit.
Mm.
The other guy, young guy, he's almost a semi-professional level runner who finishes like a full marathon and all in like 2.5 hours, kind of a guy. So,
Who is this?
um, he is from Coimbatore only.
Mm.
So he was also contemplating on quitting, as I heard,
Yeah.
because he was finishing the lap in like about 35-36 minutes every time, and he was burning out a lot, and
Right.
he started developing pain. That's what I
Yeah.
heard later.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it. He was still running very strong.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm quitting. So I quit at 36. He did 37.
Mm.
So when I came to the Bangalore Backyard Ultra, I was very clear.
Mm.
I was not going to take even the common salt, which I was taking in Coimbatore, in the orange and all. I'll dip in the salt and take it just so that I'll have enough sodium, right? So Bangalore Ultra, everything clean. By the way, Coimbatore Backyard Ultra, I ran about 30 hours only on the floaters because my shoe, generally I cut my shoe on the toe area so that toes gets relaxed.
Right.
But for this kind of ultra, it was not relaxed enough, that with the heat and all. Started feeling a little bit of a rub between the toes. So I said I'm not going to risk. So I took to the Decathlon swimming pool sandal. They have the floater sandal.
Right.
So I ran with that, the all remaining thing.
Yeah.
And that gave me an advantage over others because there were ice waters for pouring on the head.
Right.
So I could just pour without bothering about shoe getting drenched or something. People will remove the shoe or try to take care of that. I just pour even on the feet. So I ran like that.
Yeah.
So in the Bangalore Backyard Ultra, what I did was I bought the shoe, which is like I normally wear shoe the 41.5 size, whatever that is. I think
Right.
the EU or this thing, right? Is it a U?
8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for around 41.5. So I bought 44 so that the widest part of the feet, the toe box, will be in the widest part of the shoe, and there is a lot of gap in the front.
Right.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
My running form
Wouldn't the leg move?
No, it
in
won't
the
move.
shoe? Oh, okay.
That is the good part.
Right.
I have a good running form, which doesn't matter what I wear. The floaters I wore doesn't even have an ankle strap.
Right.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just land and it'll stop there. Neither move forward nor back.
Wow.
So basically I can run even without shoelace for that matter, right? I just need something covering and doesn't fall off completely. That's all I need.
Yeah.
So I wore that. My toes were able to spread like this. They were airy, relaxed, not rubbing each other. Later on I saw Aswini, she had
Bandage the
bandaged
toes.
each toe so that they don't rub each other.
Right.
But she had developed kind of a crease at the midsole line, and there also she had taped. She knew all this. Okay, but she had a workaround, and my workaround is don't
Get into that situation.
into this crease or rubbing. So I'm like, I was so comfortable. So this made a lot of difference. And no electrolyte, no salt. I was eating just the regular food mostly, and some.
What were
dry
you
food.
eating?
Okay, what I was eating. Before the race, again soaked oat plain overnight that I ate. After that, every hour I would nibble some either soaked almond. So the almond boiled in water in 1 minute kind of a thing, and then you can just
Repeal
remove the
the
peel. because they are unwanted for this kind of a thing.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, the soaked almonds, again, it's like, it's not so easy to digest.
Mm.
Okay, but my strategy on the Backyard Ultra, which I think nobody so far had thought in India, I guess, at least, is finish between 52 to 55 minutes.
Mm.
So at that pace, I can eat even while
Running.
or walking, whatever. 4 minutes jog, 1 minute walk,
Mm.
and the last 3 minutes at the finish, compulsory walk.
Mm.
Whatever that amounts to 200 meter or whatever, depending on its up finish or down finish.
Right.
So the 3 minutes walk, so that when I finish, my heart rate has come down, body has cooled down, so that I can eat. Because if you finish by running, so if you jog, let's say 200 meters, or if you walk 200 meters, the total time difference will be about maximum 10 seconds, right? So you end up losing 10 seconds if you walk. But if you run, you have to wait at least 3 minutes to cool down before you put anything into your mouth, because your heart rate is still high, right? Your system doesn't want things when you are at that elevated high rate, because we are going to eat normal food most of the time. Okay, so that this is one strategy I did. So I would eat the soaked almond. I had some trail mix, some expensive stuff which I generally don't. And then not every loop I was doing this, alternate. And then I had tender coconut water in Bangalore, because it's a home ground. I had a lot of friends who were ready to serve me. In Coimbatore, I didn't even have a crew member. So it was a luxury. So I had tender coconut water. And then once in a while curd rice. And then another time it was khichdi. Okay.
Good variety.
And whenever they serve khichdi or or a curd rice, what I would do is I'll take them in a hot box kind of a thing, keep it. Every time just eat only just about a small tiny cup. Eat it, and my friends would keep it in the next couple of 2-3 laps, that, and then add that soaked almond a bit. Then I carried the amla, gooseberry, Indian gooseberry, amla, the green, the sour one, okay, the hard one. So that I would take like about 3 every day. Okay, so like I sweat a lot. So my plan is that I'm not there out to survive just for 24 hours. If needed, I would try to survive at least like 72 hours. That's the thinking. So if I have to do that, I have to take care of whatever the nutrition required, right? So on the electrolyte part, though I said I didn't take any electrolytes, now you saw what and all I took, right? Coconut water, heavy in potassium, magnesium. Almond is like the richest in potassium and magnesium compared to any other, not even more than the cashew. And it has enough protein, and it has calcium. So I was getting more than enough. And the regular food has sodium, like khichdi and or curd rice, all that has this thing. And then I was taking orange, banana, whatever they keep there. That is overall strategy. Amazing. So I feel Bangalore Backyard Ultra, I could have gone much longer.
Maybe you'll get much longer assist next time, and I am sure you will go maybe 72 hours. You never know. What is the Indian record right now?
Indian record right now is 52, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, the assist for that 52, that the one who did 51, actually he came to Coimbatore. So Coimbatore had a lot of strong runners, but the weather killed everyone. So they all had given up well before like
I am not sure. Was there Ganesh?
Yes,
was
yes.
there?
Yeah, Ganesh, I think he did. I remember about more than 18 laps, 18 hours, or maybe 24. I don't know.
Nice.
No, I think definitely not 24. So I saw all these runners. They were all running fast. Of course, the other guy who won, he was strong definitely. He was running fast.
Right.
In between, there was a winner from just before that, the Mumbai Backyard Ultra. That winner was there. He was also running pretty fast. And then Ganesh was running pretty fast. And then there was one more from Tirupur or somebody. So he was also running fast. So around 5-6 guys were like, they were constantly finishing within 45 minutes, 50 minutes kind of. Okay. So I was, my average in Coimbatore Backyard Ultra for the 36 hours, the average finish time, they noted down every lap time. My average was like between 55 and 56.
Oh, wow. You're very efficiently calculating.
And I was rookie unknown, at least in Coimbatore.
Right.
So people were, I believe they were basically counting when I would drop out. Right from the start itself. Because people started quitting right from 6 hours. Okay. By the time it was 12 hours and a half gone, because it's so bad. The whole day, like
very hot.
7 a.m. was the start, by the way. By 7 p.m., half the field was empty. By like midnight, 2/3 gone.
Right.
Then by the next morning, like I think we were some 5-6 only left.
Very interesting format though, that can really, help push the limits if you are ready for that.
Yeah.
Amazing. And this has been fantastic. We can actually keep going on for another couple of hours, but we will save that for another day. But
point to be noted though. So why I said I would have, I jumped into the Backyard Ultra the moment I heard about it. So if you look at it, I am not that fast runner. I think I strongly believe I have the ability to do sub 3-hour marathon if I train well. That is if, right? But it would be really hard for me to do that kind of, and the sub 3-hour is now not even considered a big thing in the current Indian marathon scene.
Lot of people
are routinely doing this, right? So on average, 3.5 is my comfort level. Okay, so as of now. So if you look at that, Backyard Ultra required pace is like much slower. But I have the experience of the Brevets and TransAm that
to keep going,
skip the sleeps if needed, eat food on the go, that one.
Right.
So that is what really worked for me. So it's not to be confused that I am a really good runner.
No, you are a good runner, but
just the format is just perfect for me. I would say.
Right. I can see.
Everyone has their strength point, strengths and weaknesses, right?
No, I can see you doing much more in the ultra space, especially in this format as well. So all the very best for your future races, and let us do another round pretty soon. This itself, it took a lot of goading and pleading from my side to get you here.
I'm really sorry about that, because it's a pleasure to talk to you, but at the same time, I felt that somehow I'm not the right person that you should be.
No. See, we learned so much from all these different experiences,
That
be
is
it
true.
TransAm, be it these ultra marathons and stuff. So that is all it is about, right?
Yeah, true.
So
I still read your race reports and things. They are really something to look forward to, and yeah.
thank you, and thank you for taking the time and sharing your experience with the Working Athlete podcast again. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Yeah.